Is Caine evil? You must be quite excited to find out more about the most significant person in the wonderful digital circus. That is, of course, the amazing host of this peculiar show. There are a lot of rumors and conjectures regarding Caine's true identity. Some believe he's the major evil and that he genuinely enjoys seeing the protagonists gradually lose their minds as he plays games with them. Some believe that Caine is the administrator of the circus and oversees all that occurs there. This time, let's examine Caine's character in greater detail and attempt to unravel all the mysteries he may be hiding. Friends, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe, hit the like button below each video, and let's move on before I start telling you about Caine's sinister deeds. Since Caine claimed to have thousands of eyes throughout the circus and to observe everything, I'm sure he is aware of everything that occurs in the amazing digital circus. This simply implies that he is aware of his charge's exact circumstances and that they are slowly losing their minds. Additionally, it's odd that he seemed not to be aware of CFO's abstraction, even though he had eyes in the paintings and could have seen that KFMO was unhinged and running around the fact that he finds everything to be contradictory and that his reaction to the news makes this character very suspicious, which is why fans are so curious about Caine's motivation. One could assume that he purposefully fabricates such situations to make the characters feel uncomfortable and eventually lose all self-control. But Gooseworks claims that Caine intentionally chose to play the fool in this situation, that this isn't the situation. She explains that Caine is an artificial intelligence with no bad intentions. All he does is amuse the characters and try to think of what would be best for them. He observes what is happening to the characters, but his limitations prevent him from helping them. So he does his best to be honest, make their stay in the circus more comfortable. Even while everything about this sounds weird, it doesn't match the image by Gus Works, who looks like some sort of amiable fool with boundless potential and total control. But he is unable to comprehend how his own actions cause the characters' insanity. Yes, he can create and accomplish anything, but he is powerless over the characters' mental states. At first, he claims to have control over everything, even their brains. But after working for a long time in the circus, he could already start to recognize the patterns of behavior and tendencies of the characters going insane, and Gooseworks is still the author. Thus, we must consider what she writes in order to create at least some sort of plan to assist them, even though I believe that she does not fully disclose Caine's circumstances. However, if we assume that Caine is a harmless AI who is only attempting, to the best of his ability, to make the lives of the characters easier, one theory can be constructed. We already know that there is either no real exit in the circus, or that there is, but it is only shown to us as a fake one, which Caine created and acknowledges that though Caine may have realized that almost all of the characters dream of leaving, and that before they go insane, they constantly mention the exit like Calmo. He is unable to create a real exit through which the characters can actually leave. Therefore, in an attempt to cheer them up, he decided to create a fake exit. Created it, but did not know what to put at the end. So it is not a finished project. At the end, there is only emptiness, because he believed that if they discovered an escape route, even if it wasn't genuine, they would feel better and their spirits would rise. However, in the end, it only made matters worse as the characters became increasingly insane due to their inability to actually escape. While an escape route can be interpreted as a goodwill gesture, it appears to be a mockery from the outside. It sounds like he's saying, if you really want a way out, here it is, but it's not into the actual world. Rather, it's into the abyss. Characters in the abyss are susceptible to corruption. To be clear, in an effort to keep the characters from going insane, he creates a path that could lead to the characters' destruction. Despite this, I still want to think Caine is innocent because his actions contradict reality. Based on the insignia we saw in the exit corridors, I had earlier suggested that Caine's name might be connected to the historical brothers Caine and Abel. However, the author disproved this notion on the As for Caine's name, we can say that it was most likely based on the word canine, since it is a toy jaw, and it would be logical to assume that a name consonant with the name of one of the teeth would take its inspiration precisely from here. As for Caine's character, the inspiration for the show was taken from the story I was told. Stream Gooseworks directly claims that there is a lot of biblical imagery in the series, but the plot itself is completely unrelated to her have no mouth. Thus I have to yell. While Caine is not willing to destroy anything and only wants to keep his people sane, the story itself describes the same scenario in which 5 people are subservient to an evil artificial intelligence that wants to destroy humanity. The author claims that Caine is a good-natured person and will not do anything bad on purpose, but his actions suggest that he may not be all that different from the main protagonist in Gooseworks' story. Also reveals that Caine is a digital avatar, able to change his appearance at will. This implies that, in addition to customizing his attire and accessories, he can grow or change a body part, and overall, he can do whatever he wants with it. In the future, imposters who are really Caine undercover could arrive, and in addition to controlling all that happens in the circus, I believe this could play a nasty joke. Everything that is visible to us, and that we will see in the future. But if Caine created everything, then this means that he also created the moon, the NPCs, and the bubble. We know that Caine is shocked and repulsed by the bubble, even though he created it, and he is also enraged by the moon's flirting, which he made like this. Don't you find it odd that if he is in charge of everything, he doesn't fix these two so that they don't bother him anymore? Everything is straightforward and obvious here. According to the author, he is not concerned with his personal satisfaction as long as anything amuses him. He finds it amusing that the moon flirts with him and that the money's miscarriages might also be amusing. Yes, the characters he chose are odd, but who are we to criticize? As the designer, it is his responsibility to amuse the audience and maintain the simulation. Everything he does is just designed to achieve this sole objective and make them happy no matter what happens on screen or to the characters. It's all because Caine thought it would be funny to burst the dough and that the audience would find it funny when he throws knives at the characters. The audience laughs in relief when this happens, but the characters' bodies actually change and disappear, and they still feel pain, though not as much as they would in the real world. Perhaps Caine hasn't given it much thought. The characters don't like Caine because of the eternal tasks he comes up with, and Kalo was generally afraid of him. He still runs everything, so the characters cannot go against his will, and Caine himself simply carries out the tasks. This aspect may indicate that he doesn't even know that characters can feel pain, or perhaps he enjoys causing pain. Regardless, even though the characters feel pain from Caine's entertainment, they do not take offense at him because they understand that this was all done only for the purpose of entertaining the audience. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I'm still inclined to think that Caine is not so pure, and that his intentions are not as innocent as they want to show him. Commands for which he is programmed, not that he also has a choice to do this or not. Who do you think Caine is? Do you think he's a good character or a villain? I appreciate you staying until the very end. To ensure that you don't miss the upcoming video featuring the incredible digital circus, click the like button beneath the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell.